Ninja Unleashed versus HyperMax'd Out. Which one should you get? I'm Nader from FitFrek, and in this video I'm comparing two very strong pre-workouts to help you decide which one you should get. If you don't know who I am, I'm Nader from FitFrek. I do unsponsored, unbiased reviews, no BS, and straight to the point. So, these two formulas are made for advanced stim junkie types of people. So that means you should have a fairly decent pre-workout history, and you should be used to taking high caffeine dosages. HyperMax'd Out has 400 milligrams of caffeine. Not only that, but also has yohimbine. So yohimbine here is dosed pretty high. And Ninja Unleashed, 600 milligrams of caffeine plus more. There's other stimulants. So both of these, the ingredients overview is that both of these have very similar serving sizes. So they both have 20 grams per serving and 20 full servings. So HyperMax'd Out actually has 24 grams, my bad, but it's fairly close in terms of the ingredients per serving. But the overview of this is that HyperMax'd Out has some patented ingredients, and it's just well-rounded in terms of stimulants as well as nitric oxide boosters, but at first glance it's missing a little bit of agmatine. On the other hand, Ninja Unleashed also has a fairly comprehensive formula, but it mostly focuses on energy with some nootropics and some nitric oxide boosters. So there's agmatine in here and there's citrulline. Both play a synergetic role when it comes to pumps. But when it comes to well-rounded pumps, HyperMax'd Out does have an edge because it has HydroMax, which means not only are you getting the blood flow enhancement from citrulline, but you're also going to get that water retention increase inside your muscle. So you'll be getting like multiple attacks of nitric oxide, and also has other nitric oxide boosters. So nitric oxide boosters, well-rounded and HyperMax'd Out, while Ninja Unleashed more like has it as, not as an afterthought, but it has the minimum, just enough. But when it comes to stimulants, Ninja Unleashed has a lot. It has halostachin, it has that caffeine, aerogenesis, also has another form of caffeine. So there's really two forms of caffeine, synphrine, halostachin. There's about 4 stimulants in here, and then there's also alpha yohimbine and some nootropics just to help with focus and concentration. On the other hand, HyperMax'd Out has nootropics, it has aerogenesis, which I do see right here. Actually, let me bring the camera. So these two are the formulas right here, and you can see that citrulline here is dosed at 8 grams, citrulline malate 6 grams, beta-alanine, they're both fairly well dosed, so you'll be getting tingles. So in terms of the ingredients quality, there's much better ingredients in HyperMax'd Out just because of those patented forms of ingredients, and it's just attacking everything from all angles. We got the nootropics, we got some stimulants, and we have some nice nitric oxide boosters. With Ninja Unleashed, on the other hand, also has some nice stimulants, but doesn't focus so much on nitric oxide boosters, but it does cover some nice nootropics. It's got that choline, alpha GPC, tyrosine, it's got lion's mane, theanine just to smooth out the energy, cognique for a little bit euphoria, like mood elevation. Then we have alpha yohimbine, it's a stimulant, huperzine to defend the levels of the acetylcholine, helping prolong the focus and concentration. So the most important, how is the experience? How does it compare? So Ninja Unleashed, high energy, right? It's kind of like pushing your heart to beat, and sometimes that can hinder performance because when you're doing squats and your heart's already pounding from those heavy compound lifts like those squats, you're going to be taking a little bit extra time just to recover and to slow down your heart rate. At 600 milligrams, it's kind of high, the caffeine, and it's also combined with other stimulants. On the other hand, HyperMax'd Out has 400 milligrams of caffeine, which shouldn't hinder performance as more caffeine as the more caffeine you have, the more vasoconstriction you get, which is where your vessels, kind of decrease in size, and it just makes it harder to work out at full efficiency. But at 400 milligrams, it's a little bit more bearable than Ninja Unleash's 600 milligrams. But HyperMax'd Out does have other stimulants. It has 15 milligrams of yohimbine, which is kind of high. I know you might be thinking that it's too high, but there's a nice synergetic effect when it comes to the other ingredients. Like there's adaptogens in here, canna, and there's also rolda. These two play a huge role in mental health. It seems to clean up the energy in that it doesn't feel so dirty. It doesn't feel like your vessels are constricting as much as it would otherwise. Yohimbine does give me personally dirty effects. It gives me anxiety, jitters, and it's just an unsettling feeling in the stomach. I don't feel well. But with this formula, I didn't feel those side effects. So, and also the pumps are fantastic with HyperMax'd Out. I think the combination of the nitric oxide boosters as well as the lower stimulant dosage when it comes to caffeine helps a lot with the blood flow. Ninja Unleashed, on the other hand, it felt like the caffeine kind of hindered the performance and the pumps kind of suffered a little bit, but not that much. But the energy was just high long after the workouts. But with HyperMax'd Out, I was still hyper throughout the day, but it wasn't unbearable and there wasn't any unsettling feeling. I felt the energy was much cleaner when it comes to the overall experience when it comes to HyperMax'd Out. But with Ninja Unleashed, it felt like it was high energy and it wasn't overwhelming in any sense. But when I was pushing myself in the gym, it was just a little hard to recover than I would otherwise normally. But with HyperMax'd Out, it was just, I felt like it was natural energy not to say that it was calm or slow, but to say like it was high energy, but without those jitters, anxiety, and that dirty feeling where you're in your mind trying to think, will you survive the next minute? Will you have any sort of like survival mode moments, which happens with a lot of pre-workouts, especially when that yohimbine is so high. Like, don't get me started on Heroline from Dark Labs. That one was just crazy, torturous, unpleasant for me. The yohimbine was less than what it is in HyperMax'd Out, but I don't feel the side effects in HyperMax'd Out. Ninja Unleashed does have some nice mood elevation. I think that's the advantage that it has over HyperMax'd Out. But HyperMax'd Out, I felt so good. Like, it was really hard to stop between sets, even between really hard and heavy compound lifts. It was just impossible to stop moving. I was constantly going from one place to another without any rest. It was hard to sit down and just relax, right? I find that really well. Really good, especially if you're trying to lose fat because you want to move more. But with Ninja Unleashed, it was high energy, but it was almost forced. It wasn't the same. So I think when it comes to overall performance, HyperMax'd Out wins. But when it comes to, like, if you have high caffeine tolerance, sure, I can see Ninja Unleashed being the better choice for you. But I think HyperMax'd Out does have a good place, even for those who really prefer highest of the high of the stimulants, because the yohimbine and all the other stimulants, as well as the adaptogens, just play a huge role, just playing a really nice experience for the workouts without giving any dirty or like survival mode moments. Ninja Unleashed doesn't have like survival mode moments, but I felt like even hours after my workout, my heart would just like start pounding out of nowhere, and it's not really nice feeling, especially like during the evening at the end of the day. So it can be overwhelming, but that's not to say I didn't enjoy Ninja Unleashed. I liked it. But my favorite out of these two has to be HyperMax'd Out for the overall experience. The focus was great, the energy was great, mood elevation, I mean, it's there from the workout, right? It wasn't noticeable. The euphoria was just coming off naturally from the hard work. But this, of course, has better mood elevation. So if you have high tolerance to caffeine, I can see Ninja Unleashed being your choice. But if you want something reliable, of course, it's not a daily, it's high caffeine, high energy, then HyperMax'd Out, it's a really good choice. I really like this one. And the taste, they both taste good. Ninja Unleashed, the rainbow candy did have an edge. It was a bit more sweet, so maybe you'll enjoy this more. But again, these are for advanced users. You don't want to be getting this just because it tastes good. But in terms of overall performance, I really liked HyperMax'd Out. So which one should you get? I personally would go with HyperMax'd Out. In terms of overall formula, overall experience, the ingredient quality, HyperMax'd Out. Ninja Unleashed, maybe you'll want to try it. I do recommend you try it at least once, right? So you can get these pre-workouts from the links in the description, or go to the stores, also linked in the description, and use my coupon code FitFrek if you want to get this. And I do get a commission at no extra cost for you, but this way you'll support the channel, and I'll keep the channel ad-free. No ads. Hate ads. No ads. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. God bless. Yeah.